Hi. Today I wanted to talk about personal services income and specifically income that you generate through a company and a trust or a trust. So if you run a consulting, trade, medical or professional services business through a company or a trust, and you are personally the one doing the work, the ATO have released a bit of an update as to how they will treat that. So let's break that down. So what is personal services income? So that's income that you generate mainly for a reward for your personal efforts and skills. So consultants, tradies, IT, contractors, doctors, engineers, creatives, brokers, financial advisors, etc. So where generally it's your skill, your labour that is generating the income, and that it's you predominantly generating that income. So that's what PSI is, or personal services income. So there have been many people who have set up a company or a trust in order to run that business and generate that income. So the ATO considers that there are low risk and high risk activities. So what's a low risk is if you pay yourself a proper commercial wage for the skills and your experience, you distribute the net profit after paying that wage to yourself, so whether that's via directors' fees, dividends, trust distributions, etc. Any income you might pay to an associate, maybe a family member, is for real work that they actually perform. And any profits that you might retain in the company are genuine commercial purposes. So buying equipment or upcoming expenses, etc. So what do they consider high risk? Well, high risk is where you might be looking to split your income that you generate between you and your family members who didn't actually work in the business. So you might have a trust, you might have earned 200,000, and you might think splitting that 200,000 equally between yourself and your spouse might be appropriate, or even include some adult children. High risk. Underpaying yourself. So given you're the one generating the income and you pay yourself $50,000 when you generated, 200,000 or more. Retaining profits in the company without a genuine business purpose. Obviously the company tax rate for small business is 25%, and you don't want to issue wages to yourself above that threshold. So these are the sort of high risk items and the things that you need to be aware of. So you need to make sure that if you're generating personal services income, that you're distributing that income in a fair, reasonable and commercial basis. And if you're running a personal services business, you might be generating some income elsewhere, or you might genuinely have others assisting and or generating income for you. So you need to make sure that you understand whether you do fall into a high risk or low risk category. So you really need to review your structure. You really need to understand, genuinely where the income's coming from, what it is that's being generated, who's generating it, and that everything is, appropriate in terms of the way income is distributed. So splitting income just because you have a trust or a company for that matter, because you feel you can, isn't necessarily going to be the answer. If you're unsure or you need some assistance, do reach out. Obviously, it's exactly what we do, and we're happy to help. So we want to make sure that you stay in the low risk or ultimately no risk category rather than the high risk. And maybe the structure for your particular business needs to be reviewed and amended. And again, that's something we can assist with. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye for now.